Last Friday, our German government officially passed the massive Rentenpaket II, which will change the pension for more than 80 million people living in this country. Most of it is boring bureaucracy, but there is one specific part that could add thousands of euros into your pocket, completely tax-free. So the real question is this actually a gift from the government, or is this just a desperate attempt to put a band-aid on the broken leg of the German pension system? Let's break it all down, skip the boring political talk, and show you why the Aktivrente will change your plan to reach financial freedom. The pension package 2 consists of 5 pillars. Let's speedrun through the first 4 so we can get to the completely legal 0% tax trick. First, the government guarantees that the pension level will stay at 48% of the average income until the year 2031, essentially promising that the system stays exactly as it is today. Second, the Mütterrente III. This gives extra pension points to parents whose children were born before 1992, which is great news for parents. Third, a rule change that allows companies to rehire retirees on fixed-term contracts, making it easier to keep older staff on the payroll. And fourth, an update to the company pension to help small businesses offer these benefits. These are the nice-to-have updates, but none of them will make you rich. The fifth point, however, is completely different. It is called the Aktivrente, and it is essentially a legal 0% tax trick. The name Aktivrente, active pension in English, is actually a little bit misleading, because it is not a new type of pension, it is a massive tax-free allowance that starts on January 1st, 2026. If you have reached your official retirement age, the Altersgrenze, and you decide to keep working, the government will make 2,000 euro of your monthly salary completely tax-free. And this 24,000 euros comes on top of the standard tax-free allowance, Grundfreibetrag, that every resident gets anyway. So in case you didn't know, you can earn over 12,000 euros next year and pay 0 tax on that. And the best part about the Aktivrente is that the government decided it will not trigger the so-called Progressionsvorbehalt, which is especially important for you expats. You might know this pain already. Progressionsvorbehalt is a German tax rule that applies when you receive certain types of tax-free income from your home country, for example. Even though this foreign income itself isn't taxed, it increases the tax rate applied to your other taxable income here in Germany. So if you earn 80k here and 20k back home, Germany calculates your tax rate based on the full 100k, meaning you pay a higher percentage on your German income, but not with the Aktivrente. It is a clean tax cut. Before we answer the question what that means for your future here in Germany, let's see who actually gets the money. Early retirees, freelancers, self-employed, or government employees get nothing. So, bad luck for me, I guess. Only employees who keep on working after the age of 67 will benefit from the Aktivrente. But wouldn't it be better to save taxes today? Yes, it would. That's why we help expats to save taxes, optimize investments, and secure their pension right now. So you don't have to wait decades to see the benefits. You can book a free meeting with us using the link in the description. The government claims this new Aktivrente makes working longer attractive. Is that so? Let's look at the math together. The average German salary is just over 55,000 euros. That means you will pay 12,500 euro income tax next year, a 22.6% tax rate. But with the Aktivrente, the first 24,000 euros are tax-free. This means you only pay tax on the remaining 31,000, dropping your tax rate to under 15%. The Aktivrente will save you almost 8,000 euros in taxes just for being older than 67. Important to know, this is completely voluntary. Nobody will force you to work longer. But if you choose to do so, the payoff is huge. Now I know exactly what you're thinking. This is unfair. Why do I have to wait until 67 to save taxes? And the critics agree with you. They say this law violates the Gleichheitsgrundsatz, the constitutional principle of equality before the law. Think about it. Two people doing the exact same job. The 67-year-old pays almost zero tax, the 66-year-old pays the full bill. That's the definition of age discrimination. And if you're a freelancer, self-employed or civil servant, you get absolutely nothing. It even excludes mini-jobbers, the people who often need the extra cash the most. So why does the government make such an unfair law? Well, Germany is fighting a massive Fachkräftemangel, a shortage of skilled workers, and over the next few years, all the experienced baby boomers will retire. And the government doesn't want to lose their knowledge and productivity, they want to keep the economy growing. So they are using the Aktivrente as a financial tool to unlock the labor potential of older people. The big question is, will this actually work? Will thousands of retirees suddenly rush back to the office just to save some taxes? Experts are skeptical. The German Institute for Economic Research calculates that this law might only create about 30,000 new full-time jobs. That sounds like a decent number until you look at the bigger picture. Germany loses about 400,000 workers every single year just because of demographics. So the Aktivrente is basically a drop in the ocean, and it's a very expensive drop. The German government expects to support retirees with 890 million euros, which is nice wording for losing almost 1 billion euros in tax revenue every year. Other experts calculate the loss could be as high as 3 billion euros. Now, critiquing is easy, but what's the alternative? There's always the sentiment that Germany refuses to change. And now that the government is finally doing something innovative, people still complain? Supporters argue the Aktivrente is actually quite smart, because it stabilizes the entire social security system. How? Even though retirees pay almost zero taxes, the employer still has to pay the full share into the German social security system. So companies are essentially subsidizing the pension pot for the younger generations. Is the Aktivrente perfect? Maybe not, but the government says, let's try it. So they decided to test this model until the end of 2029. If it works, great. If not, they scrap it. And if it works really well, they might even expand it to freelancers and mini-jobbers in the future. That is, if the law survives that long. Because many legal experts believe the Aktivrente will end up in court very soon. The Bundesverfassungsgericht, our constitutional court, could overturn the entire law if they decide that it treats people unfairly based on their age or employment status. And the German unions agree. They argue that this is just Symptombekämpfung, treating the symptoms instead of the disease. They say instead of bribing old people with tax breaks, the government should invest in healthier working conditions so people are physically able to work longer. So, what's my personal opinion about the Aktivrente? Let's see what happens. Is it a perfect solution? We don't know yet, but I appreciate that Germany is brave enough to try something new. And honestly, for the first time in forever, they made a new law that is actually easy to understand. No forms, no applications, just one simple rule. And if you like things that are easy to understand, like me, make sure you watch this video next to see how much taxes you will pay in 2026. Thank you for watching und bis zum nächsten Mal.